time reading means being old-fashioned. Most likely you've already forgotten when you read magazines or newspapers for the last time. This is the fate of the older generation. The 21st century is the age of technology, so I don't think that you watch TV, read and research new magazines of times. My generation is very developed in these things. We can make a report on history in 5 minutes or find any important information that we need.
We all come across news, whichever way are better good. They evaluate these events, draw conclusions, and later try to apply this lesson in practice. In any case, media helps in information of a person's personality and will tell you about it now.
Media is a means of communication, a way of transmitting information and its dissemination. In modern world, media is a notion that including all the set of technology and methods of communication used to transfer message to consumers. There are text, music, images. Someone thinks that media is bad. Someone has opposite opinion. Let us show you advantages and disadvantages of media.
The media is generally believed to influence people, and the many ways in which individuals and society may be influenced by both news and entertainment mass media are referred to as media effects. It's hardly controversial to say that these media sources can affect our view of the world, but let's talk a little about the ways they can do that. Priming. Media messages may help us to recall old ideas, knowledge, or experience. For example, a news story about the French presidential election might trigger thoughts about the French economy, memories of a trip to Paris, or remind a person to put brie on their grocery list. Agenda setting. Also called gatekeeping, this refers to the fact that the media controls the information we get, and therefore what we think about. Editors have a lot of power here, because they are ultimately the ones who decide what we're thinking about. Framing. Frames are the particular treatment or spin applied to a message. Often this ends up shaping our own opinions of the news and who the good guy is in any situation. While agenda setting is choosing which stories to tell, framing is choosing how to tell them. Cultivation. After a lot of hours in front of the TV, people start to blur the lines between the real world and the one on TV. For example, based on the number of programs about police, you might guess that more than 1 in 10 men work in law enforcement, when really it's 1 in 100. Of course, some media messages, like ads and public information campaigns, are designed to change our attitudes or behavior. Factors that increase the likelihood of success include likability, credibility, or attractiveness of the source, the arguments used, and people who seem to agree with them. Media also plays a role in persuading people to adopt a new idea or practice. Often they first communicate messages about the new idea, which then spreads through interpersonal networks expanding over time to include social leaders, peers, and the community. This eventually leads to the adoption of the idea or innovation, reaching a critical mass. In today's world, it's impossible to avoid media influence. But by understanding the way it works, you can win back control of your perception and seek to have a balanced view of the world and the people in it.
The message of this video is give some truth about media for people around the world as very much false. I think you never believe in false.
We all come across news, whatever we are better good. They relate with.
Media is a means of communication, a way of transmitting information and dissemination.
For my theme song, my leather jeans on. My by any means on. Part and I'm getting my scream on. Into the kingdom. But watch what you bring home.